What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today, guys? It is finally time to talk about Ahsoka season finale. Oh my gosh, that was something, wasn't it? What's going on? My name is E-Man or Emmanuel Noisette. Y'all already know what it is. Um, if you are, I'm just gonna give y'all this right now. I don't know why you watching if you have not finished Ahsoka. Okay, this is the season finale. I gave y'all a whole extra day to get caught up. So, spoiler alert, we're gonna talk about this season finale. I don't want to hear nobody complaining in the comments. Okay, you saw the title, you know why we're here. But yes, we have to talk about the season finale of Ahsoka, which and we'll talk about this later. I mean, could this be one of the greatest Star Wars shows that we've gotten so far? I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But just a quick heads up, if you are new here and if you want to join in on the conversation, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button. And you can also join some of the livest of live chats on all of YouTube, and go ahead and join up with the E-Mandalorians over there. And you can have your thoughts and comments shared as well. And by the way, that's free. You ain't got to pay for nothing. Just go ahead and hit subscribe, right? That helps support the channel. And of course, if you like what you're hearing, you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that like button as well. That definitely goes a long way. And thank you in advance. But as we like to do, we like to go ahead and see who is here with us early. Let's see. We got my man Dexter Reason. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Joy, what's going on? Listen, this episode gave us a lot. Mortis, Thrawn, Ezra, everything is happening. Lots of things are happening for sure. Last of my kin, what's going on? Good to see you. Thank you so much, Leandra, for being here. Appreciate you. Pierre, what is going on? The homie Low Key, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here as well. Always appreciated. Treese, what's going on? How you doing? Rim 17, come through, holding it down for the mod squad. Thank you so much for all that you guys are doing. Toby, what is up? Thank you so much for being here. Let's see, who is that? Roger, what's going on? Good to see it. Roger, I like that. Thank you so much for being here as well. Come on through. Christy, good to see you. Thank you so much. Another mod squad alumni. We got Kristen Pratt. Thank you so much for being here and holding it down. We got my man Didier here. What is going on? Thank you so much for being here, sir. Callow, how you doing? Good to see you. T-Ville, what is up? Samantha, what is up? Tasha, what's up? My man Philroy's back. How you doing? Theo, how's it going? Kristen, good to see you. Cal Payne, what's going on, sir? Intellectual humor, good to see you. My man Sean is back. Andrew, what's up? Corey, how you doing? Let's see. Grim, what is up? Good to see you. Let's see. Allie, how you doing? Good to see you as well. I see some of y'all comments are interesting. Bose, what is up? How you doing? Come on, wouldn't be alive without Ms. Harper. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. 60 plus is here too. Omar, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. CJ, good to see you. Wilbur, what is up? Hello. Jesse, how you doing? I'm all right, man. I hope you're doing well. William, thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Who else did I see? I think we're caught up. Well, there we go. Dana, or what's up? Good to see you as well. So guys, man, we have a lot of different things going on with this episode. A lot of different issues and things that have happened that we will have to go through. Let's see here. Where do we want to start with? Don't want to do that. Nah, let's go to the other one. Let's go. Hold on. Let me grab these real quick. But yes, I know that I already see y'all talking about a bunch of different things, especially when it comes to Baylan. I think y'all know where I land on that. But we'll save that for when we actually get closer to his part in the episode. Now, I'm gonna say this up front. There were some things in this episode that I really liked, and there were some things I had some issues with. So we're gonna go through the episode. I will go through it, and then you guys let me know. Maybe some things worked for you, maybe some things didn't. I don't know, but I'm gonna let y'all know what my grievances were and some of the things that I absolutely loved about this episode. So let's kick it off. Let's see. We start off with Thrawn. Now Thrawn is continuing to, pack up his U-Haul and get up out of here. He is tired of this place. He wants to go. That has always been his main MO at this point. And he also goes ahead and sends out 2 TIE fighters to deal with the Jedi. And Morgan, she's like, yo, what's the big deal? Like, these Jedi, they done for. They not gonna be no problem. And Thrawn was like, no, 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 no. I've dealt with these Jedi before, and one of them, just one Jedi, caused me enough trouble. And I'm not going to underestimate these Jedi. Now that we got 2.5 Jedi running out there, we're not going to play these games with them, And of course, he's referring to Ezra as the one Jedi that caused him all this trouble, because that one Jedi basically stranded him for like 10 years. And this is what I like about Thrawn. He's like, yo, never again. I'm not going to be like those stereotypical villains in all these other movies and TV series that just assume that because they're so smart or whatever, that they're going to underestimate their enemy. And that's the thing. That's usually the downfall of most villains. So I love the fact that Thrawn is like, nah, I'm coming at y'all. I don't care. Y'all not gonna foil me this time. Okay, plot armor is not gonna save y'all this time. So I like the fact that Thrawn is about his business, and he is doing whatever it takes to keep those Jedi at bay. Now, the Night Sisters, they went ahead and said that they were gonna give Morgan a gift of shadows and foundation and concealer. I don't know, whatever it was. It was some sort of Revlon Force makeover or something. But they hooked the sister up, right? They gave her, they made her pretty much a full-fledged Night Sister. They asked her, to take these vows to commit herself, devote her life, and all of this other stuff. And as you see, she got her little makeup done, got the little eyeshadow and everything together. It was actually kind of funny because when I saw her, I was like, dang, they made her look like a Mortal Kombat character. She out here looking like Quan Chi's sister or something, but it wasn't just that. They also gave her the Blade of Talzin. And for those of you that don't know, of course, y'all should have been watching Clone Wars and Rebels, but Talzin was basically the head Night Sister, the mother Night Sister back in the day. And this was like her blade. This was her sword. And as you could see, it was also infused with the green energy, which is kind of like their green force magic. It's the other type of magic that they use, which is formidable, right? Like this is pretty much equivalent to having her own version of a lightsaber. So this is nothing to mess with. And of course, we also get the title of this episode called The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord, which I think most people have already connected, is very reminiscent to the Chronicles of Narnia, which is the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And you can make the obvious connections there. I think Morgan is obviously the witch, and the Jedi is probably, well, that depends. The Jedi could be, I don't know, Ahsoka. It might be, Sabine. It might be Ezra. I don't know, whatever. And the Warlord in this case is, of course, Thrawn. But we're getting those similar parallels because Star Wars always borrows something from other stories. That's nothing new. Hold on, let's see. I got one comment. Let me grab this here. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. Let's see. My man Derek, what you got? E-Man, I can't stay long. 10 for the episode, 8 for the series. I hope they bring back Ventress. That would be great. I need more action, more action. All right. Well, thank you so much for the contribution, brother. I appreciate it. We'll make sure to save that for the end of the show. for this live chat, but I appreciate you, sir. And yes, hey, I'll never turn down more action. I'll take that. Now, I will say, I did want a little bit more things from this, but we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But thank you so much for the support. All right, let's moving on. Let's move on. We're going back to the ship, and we see Ezra is over here trying to build his own lightsaber again. And Huang is, trying to give him some advice and trying to let him know like what to do and all that. And Ezra was just ignoring Huang like he was a bag of bolts or something. And Huang had to remind him to put some respect on his programming. He was like, "Look, man, I've been making lightsabers before you was born for centuries. Okay, I've been in these lightsaber streets making these things. Okay, matter of fact, I helped your master Kanan Jarrus do that. I helped him make his lightsaber." That's when Ezra was like, "Oh, word? Oh, you knew my master? Word?" And Huang had to give Ezra another part of the lightsaber that was also part of it was basically another component that was similar to his master. So this was kind of cool because now it basically gave Ezra something to connect him with his master, and that was pretty cool. And by the way, Huang kind of dropped a little bit of a gem here when he said that the relationship between a master and their apprentice is as challenging as it is meaningful. And I think that that's like very important because we're going to see how that plays out, that the dynamic between the master and the apprentice always means something, and it can be tough, but just because it's tough doesn't make it any less valuable, right? And of course we've seen this with Ahsoka and Anakin. Like their relationship had a lot of tension. It was very challenging. She's like, "Yo, I mean, you went to the whole dark side," and he was like, "Man, look, forget about that. That ain't nothing. Now, do you want to live or die?" And then boom, she had her nice little spiritual awakening and all that. And he basically was like, "Yo, your training is complete." So again, just because there are bumps in the road and there's all this tension between masters and apprentice doesn't mean that it can't lead to something better, right? So again, we'll see more of that later on. But because of this, this also prompts Ezra to ask the $1,000,000 question about Sabine. And this was basically what we've been, I guess, wondering about since the very beginning of this show, which is what happened between Sabine and Ahsoka. And Huang pretty much revealed that Ahsoka was afraid that if Sabine learned the way of the Force, then she might turn to the dark side, kind of the way Anakin did. And again, you have to go back and watch Clone Wars and Rebels. But this fear, this concern was all based on what happened with Sabine and her people, the Mandalorians. Because if you recall, the Empire decimated her people and her planet, and her family, by the way. Like they killed all of them. And this we saw what the planet looked like in Mandalorian season 3, like all that gas and all that, the fact that it was not able to be lived on and stuff like that. So, this was, Ahsoka's fear. And, she was basically kind of crippled in a sense. She was kind of like, ugh. I saw what happened with Anakin, and we all saw what happened with Anakin, which was, when his mama died, when Padme died, man, when you had that strong attachment and you got the powers of the Force, whoo, listen, that will make you do some things. Okay, that is how you can lead down that path that's not so great. And Ahsoka was kind of scared that, like, man, if I just keep training her, maybe she'll go down the same path. And keep in mind, Ahsoka was carrying that level of guilt for some time. But here was my only issue. My only issue with this was like, what was you scared of? Sabine couldn't even move a rock. She couldn't even move a little pebble. What was you scared of? What dark side was she finna turn to? I'm just saying at the time. I mean, Huang stayed calling her out, talking about like, yo, she one of the weakest Jedi I've ever seen. You know, like everybody was like, what force? We don't see no midichlorians in her, you know? So I'm just wondering what she was so afraid of that wasn't even there. Now, there's a difference because we also saw Luke in Last Jedi. He too was also very afraid of Kylo, you know, Kylo Ren, Ben Solo at the time, because he was like, man, the force is strong in him, and I can sense him kind of leaning towards the dark side. That would now that makes a little bit more sense to have that fear because you don't want another Darth Vader to pop up. But I'm like, what was Sabine? She was scaring who? Scaring what? You know, but whatever. Okay. But here's my only thing. I kind of wish they had just told us this from the jump. Why did you have us sitting here wondering about why won't Ahsoka train her? Why were they so afraid? Like, this was the big reveal? That she was gonna potentially turn to the dark side. This was it. Y'all could have revealed that in the beginning and then just let it play out. You know, that I think that would have made a little bit more sense for in terms of the story and the writing. Let us know that she had this fear. We later see Ahsoka deal and confront with this internal fear when she overcomes the stuff with her master, you know, in the world between worlds. And then we come to this point where Ahsoka eventually comes to terms with stuff, which we're about to get into now. So, minor point taken off right there. Like, y'all waited this long to reveal that? I don't know. Didn't work for me. Anyway, so we move on, and you know, now that we have this thing, you know, Ahsoka does end up telling you know, Sabine that she already knew that she made that choice about, you know, going after Ezra. But Ahsoka empathized with Sabine's hard decision and reflected on, you know, how her master, Anakin, would usually take up for her when others didn't. Now, once again, this is a major callback to the Clone Wars when Ahsoka was on trial, when the whole Jedi Order was they were against her, thinking that she had committed a crime. But Anakin was like the only one to believe her and stick up for her. So this is the reason why, you know, now Ahsoka is kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stick with you, Sabine, through the thick and thin moving forward. And I think this kind of goes back to what Huang was talking about with the relationship between a master and apprentice, because it's not a one-way street where the apprentice just does whatever the master says, or the master, you know, like the master also has to do some trusting in the apprentice so both of them can prosper at the same time. So that was definitely a good lesson, I thought, and a good moment of reflection and growth for Ahsoka to understand that, you know, once she started reflecting on her master. Now, Ahsoka was out here lying. Okay, she was out here giving a big old lie to Sabine, talking about, you know, being a Jedi isn't about isn't about having a lightsaber. Yeah, I last I checked, the vast majority of people with lightsabers, if you ain't Sith, you was a Jedi. And matter of fact, most of the Sith used to be Jedi. So I'm just saying, really? Having a lightsaber ain't part of being a Jedi? Really? Because last I checked, when Mando tried to pick up the dark saber, he was like, man, this shoulder is heavy. You know? So anyway, whatever. She Ahsoka at this point is just, you know, trying to tell her that there's a different way, you know, which is seeming to be the new message that Star Wars is pushing, and she says it, she's like, look, you got to train your mind, you have to train your body and all that jazz, and everything else will come, you know. And this is more, again, a diversion away from or a departure away from people just being born with these, you know, special force abilities and automatically knowing how to use a lightsaber and do stuff, you know. She's instilling that notion that if you work hard and if you focus and put your mind to it, you know, you could be a real Jedi either way. Now, I don't believe her because of what happened, you know, later on, but, you know, we'll get to that later. Now we move on. We got 2 TIE fighters coming in to attack them, and this was what Thrawn basically sent after them. As you can see, like, they had to hold the ship up and everything. But hey, whatever, Sabine was like, I got this, took the ship, took the last little bit of engine juice that was left, and destroyed those TIE fighters, in the process. And yeah, that also meant that she burnt up the ship. Like, the ship is now damaged, but hey, mission accomplished, right? So Thrawn is informed that the two TIE fighters were lost and that they basically could not connect. So he already chalked that up as a loss. Matter of fact, as an acceptable loss. He already deduced that the ships are probably down, that the Jedi ships are also down, and that means that they need to start setting up a ground assault. And once again, Thrawn is out here playing chess ahead of time, and this is his superpower. This is what makes him the bad guy that you don't want to deal with, because he's always planning, he's always strategizing. For those of y'all that thought like, man, Thrawn's not physically imposing, that was not his thing. It's always been up here. This has been his biggest weapon the whole time. So the fact that he already deduced this is just showing you my man has always got a plan, and he's always thinking a couple of steps ahead. Let's see now. The night troopers, apparently these night troopers were volunteers to stay behind and possibly die by stalling the Jedi, all for Thrawn, right? And Thrawn had to correct Morgan and was like, nah, this ain't for me, it's all for the Empire. And this stands out because, as we'll see, people have different motivations and pledges of allegiance here, especially Morgan. Morgan is like, nah, that's like, okay, I thought it was all for Thrawn, but okay, maybe not. So the Jedi now are getting closer to his ship, and Thrawn is already noticing this. And he was just like, man, you know what? Just go ahead and rain fire, just Thanos style. Was like, yo, rain fire on them. And because at the end of the day, he doesn't want to underestimate the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker, because he knows how Anakin was very unpredictable, but at the same time was also very successful as a general. So he already knows that Ahsoka can be a problem just because of who she was associated with, right? Now, as they get closer to the door, Ahsoka tells Ezra to help open the door, to the gate or whatever. But like, while she's doing that, she also asks Sabine to do the same. Now, this is where I have my issue. This is where it is. This whole time in the series, we kept seeing Sabine having these small moments of maybe she has the Force abilities. Maybe she can roll that cup. Maybe she can move that little dust on the wall or something. Maybe. And then now, you mean to tell me that you just gonna ask her to like open this big old heavy door just out of nowhere? So now you see her doing the Force. Now, granted, she got some help, right? Like, it's her and Ezra and all of that. I'm just saying here, we've seen her fail time and time again using the Force. Obviously, it was a matter of time before she could actually use it. That's not a surprise. I just thought that this moment was the first of many that ruined and disappointed me anyway, of when she finally would use the Force to her favor. So in other words, to me, this felt a little rushed to finally get her to start using the Force, when all this time it was so difficult and she was not able to do it. But now she's able to just do it. All right, whatever. So once they get inside, Thrawn is like, yo, set them night troopers, let them go. But you also see him actually getting very upset. And he does not usually lose his cool like this, but things are not really going to plan, so he's got to adjust. And the night troopers are out there, and they are basically starting to give them some problems, and team up, as you see. But the team is definitely set up. They ready. They are fighting against them. and they go to work. And I actually really like the fact that we got this little moment. It was a cool little bit, where everybody was able to kind of showcase their little abilities and everything. You started to see Sabine using her lightsaber, or not just the lightsaber, but actually her gun. You saw Ezra also using not only the Force, but his new lightsaber. And of course, you got the Queen Ahsoka out here doing what she got to do. And of course, she gonna sit here and pose. Why? Because it's her show. Why wouldn't she pose? You see the sabers? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, the Night Sisters, they started to use their powers to resurrect the Night Troopers. And I don't think that this was the first time that these Night Troopers have been resurrected. Now, if y'all recall, Thrawn actually called them Night Troopers, right? Now, we talked about this before, how like in the captions they were called Night Troopers and stuff. But the fact that Thrawn actually called them Night Troopers, I'm like, wait a minute. So have these troopers already been resurrected before? We did see them all dirty and stuff. Now, before we didn't see, the green mist or whatever coming out of them, but I think that they fully knew the assignment. I think that they've already been resurrected from before, since at least Thrawn is acknowledging them as Night Troopers. But either way, this is clearly going to be a problem here, for our heroes. Now, we see them, obviously the Night Troopers are getting up. They like zombies. They're coming at them. They're doing all this stuff. I got one problem. If you know that these are like zombies, if you see that they have the whole ability to come back to life, why aren't you chopping their limbs off? I'm just saying. I understand it's Disney Plus. I understand maybe y'all can't chop off heads. I'm saying cut off an ankle, like poke an ACL. You know what I'm saying? Like chop off some toes, something to make these things stop coming at y'all like this. Because clearly stabbing them is not going to work. Slicing and dicing them is not going to work. Chop off them limbs. What are y'all doing? Yeah, I mean, is it just me? I'm just saying, if I keep seeing them coming back, what y'all gonna do? Crawl on your belly? Anyway, so I guess they just want to do that just so that we could get more action out of them or whatever. But whatever. That's it is what it is. Anyway, one thing that we started to notice here was Sabine was getting a lot nicer with the lightsaber, and even Ezra was like really impressed by this. Ezra was like, "Hold on now, wait a minute, like what? Look at her, And Ahsoka was like, "Yeah, she been training, And to me, this makes more sense because visually, we've seen Sabine actually train over and over and over again with her lightsaber. We've seen her get better and better with her lightsaber. Not so much with the Force, So when we see her make progress and actually use a lightsaber more proficiently, that makes sense. But the Force thing, to me, I think they jumped the gun with that. Now moving forward, Thrawn, I'm sorry, Morgan was basically like, "Oh, okay, we finna leave, right? Like it's time to go." She thought Thrawn was gonna give her that. She thought Thrawn was gonna fly her out first class. That's what she thought, And Thrawn was like, "Nah, baby girl. See what happened was we gonna need a little bit more time with these Jedi coming so much closer. So you know what to do. Go on and handle that for a player, And Thrawn just goes and leaves her, just out there. And look at her face. Look at her face. She was like, okay, then. I thought I was gonna be on first class, but so I guess I'm gonna have to stay here. And okay, yeah, we just gonna handle that. Now, Thrawn leaves, right? And when he leaves, he says, for the Empire and all that, right? but we hear Morgan say for Dathomir, right? And I think this goes back to what I mentioned earlier about people's motivations and their allegiance, right? Morgan she don't care about the empire. She cares about her people and her home planet, and she's willing to die and sacrifice for them, right? So of course now, Morgan is set up for that final rematch with her and Ahsoka. Ezra and Sabine, they go meet up, and they're fighting. But of course, this matchup, I like this matchup. This was a good matchup. Last time Ahsoka and Morgan met up back in Mandalorian season 2, it was cool. But hey, Ahsoka was no joke. Morgan just couldn't keep up. But Morgan got this little, she got the Green Force upgrade, so she better now, right? She ain't no joke now. But I love the action sequences here, the camera shots. I thought that was fire. That was good. Ezra and Sabine, they're meeting up now with these Death Troopers. So I think they're kind of similar to the Night Troopers, but I think that their armor is a little bit more sturdy, like it's a lot stronger. And I think they're still zombie-like. Anybody can correct me though. But they're a problem. They are no joke. I mean, Ezra literally stabbed one, and that didn't matter. Like you could see his face. He was like, "Oh, word, that don't kill you at all." And I mean, you saw Sabine, from my wrestling fans, got the clothesline straight from hell and knocked her all the way down. Okay, shout out to the Bradshaws. And yeah, they taking gunfire like straight to the face. Don't even phase them. Nothing. Don't mean nothing. And they still keep coming. Let me come one more time. I got one more issue here. Now, you mean to tell me that y'all noticed that the gunfire straight to the face don't work? You noticed that stabbing these dudes don't work. Okay? You notice these things. You mean to tell me, do you see where they at right now? Do y'all see like where they at? Look at this. Look at this. You mean to tell me you couldn't force push these two dudes off the ledge? Just a push. It's only two of them. I could see if y'all was bombarded. You couldn't just push. Goodbye. Why are you fighting these people? You literally was force pushing folks like last episode. Come on, Ezra. You couldn't just push over the ledge. I'm just saying that'd be like, why are they acting like this a video game? And when you in a video game and you're forced to face off against somebody and you can't do extra things that make more sense. All right, Star Wars. Okay. We just gonna act like y'all wasn't like a fulfilling feet high in the sky and they were just a couple feet away and you couldn't just push them to the side. Really? Okay. All right. We'll just act like that didn't happen. What you got, Didier? Thank you so much. I thought it was like when your dad let you sit on his lap and act like you're driving. Yes, I guess it was kind of like that, but I don't know, man. I think the writing is giving a little bit too much. I think they're giving a little bit too much, but I see where you're going with it. I understand. Let's see, what else do we have here? So we go back to the fight. Like, even though we see here, oh no, I'm sorry, no, we do hold on, I went too far. Hold on. All right, so we get here, the Death Troopers are a problem, and now we see Sabine finally having her moment, right? She sees the lightsaber, she's using the Force, and boom, she got a dope little moment, and stabbed the Death Trooper through the head. Now this, like, why wasn't this that moment? This could have been the moment where we're like, oh, she can use the Force. That should have been it, rather than her Force pushing and all that. At least this made a little bit more sense to show her progression in using the Force. At least. even though I felt like it was rushed, and even though I did like the, little, lightsaber to the head, I still had another issue with this. Not this scene right here, but again, Sabine is getting force rushed throughout this whole series, this episode. I'm sorry. And of course, Ezra finally, beheads people. I'm like, why didn't y'all just do this before? Y'all can chop off them heads, chop them off. But we see Ahsoka, and she is just like getting worked, and I did not like this. Okay, I didn't like this. I don't like the fact that Ahsoka has been taking a bunch of medium L's these last couple. I mean, Baylan served her up, and now y'all let Morgan kind of serve her up a little bit. I'm just not a huge fan about it. I'm just saying, this your show. I know Morgan got a nice little upgrade, but still, every time I thought, Ahsoka got her upgrade, she out here falling, tripping. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan. Now you got Ezra and Sabine, and they have to force jump onto the ship because Thrawn is about to escape. And so now just it feels like now everything is just working for Sabine. Just everything, like now you couldn't move a cup, you couldn't push no dust. You finally grabbed a lightsaber. Okay, cool for the baby steps. But now you can force push a whole person? A whole person? Just everything just unlocked for her? Just like that? I don't like that. I feel like it robs the payoff, especially when we had all these episodes of Ahsoka literally telling Sabine, work hard, train hard, da da da. We saw her working hard and training hard with the lightsaber, and every episode she got better. She did two things, two little practices with the Force, couldn't do nothing, saw zero progress. Now it's 0 to 100, and all of a sudden she could force push a whole person in midair. I'm not saying I don't want to see Sabine get to that point. I'm cool with her eventually being dope with the Force. But damn, 5 minutes? You cool with the Force in 5 minutes? To that proficiency? Yikes. Yikes. I'm just saying, it's a little quick. Whew, man. Let's see. Dex, what you got? Ezra was just cool fighting a gang of people with only the Force. Sabine offers the Force push him, and bruh almost asked her to see her manage. Listen, I would have too. I would have too, because I'm just saying, listen, a lot of this stuff is rushed. It's just not, I don't know why they felt the need to like do all of this so fast with her character. We knew it was not a secret that she was going to eventually get better. It was not a secret. But damn, y'all can't let these things develop. I like that though. Thanks, Dex. I appreciate you. All right, where we go? She's pushing. Anyway, so we see Ahsoka is starting to get overwhelmed, and oh my gosh, yet another medium L for Ahsoka. You lost the lightsaber? Come on now, like this was one of the best parts of Ahsoka, like having the two little lightsabers, like that was the coolest thing. And now you let that get sliced and diced. Oh, so bad, so bad. I don't like these little L's that she keep taking. I don't like them. But anyway, Ahsoka, I'm sorry, Sabine sees that Ahsoka is obviously getting overwhelmed. And then this. What is this? What is this? You mean to tell me why you got all them night troopers just standing around, just watching? Why they not doing nothing? Do you like clearly y'all don't want to win. Y'all don't want to win. Ain't no way your one job. Y'all had one job to stop the Jedi. You finally got rid of 1.5 Jedi. You got one Jedi completely surrounded, and y'all just gonna watch? Y'all just gonna stand there and watch. Look, I don't care if I shoot Morgan. Pew, 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 pew. Jedi gone. What are y'all doing? Do y'all want to play? What are y'all doing? I get it. It's for the cameras. I get it. I'm just saying they didn't want this win. They were not hungry for that victory. That's all. Anyway, we see Morgan here. You know, she's like really feeling herself, like, oh yeah, everything is all good. You finna die, you know. And Sabine was like, wrong, and evened out the odds, you know, because a lot of times that's all you need, you know. And look, Sabine goes to work, and I love it. Once again, this is what I'm talking about. That hard work paying off. Going to work with that lightsaber, slicing and dicing folks. You know, I don't know why these night troopers just be sitting around. Look at them in the background. Why are you not shooting? The dude in the back. Why are you not shooting? Look at them, all of them. Huh? Is it my turn to die? Huh? Just dumb. Anyway, you know, now we go back to Ahsoka and Morgan, and yeah, that's the end. She done took her sword and sliced them right in the middle with both blades. And the moment that she finally loses, you can see the Night Sisters actually feel that she has died, you know, of course, through their connection in the Force, or through the Force. um Thrawn is basically like, man, I'm not taking no chances with this. Go ahead and just fire on that whole tower. Don't even care. Once again, Thrawn knows the deal. He knows the deal. So he was like, yo, fire on them, whatever. We blasting, we shooting, you know, get rid of them. But thanks to Huang, you know, the ladies were able to escape on the ship as the whole tower started to crumble. And they made it out of there. Ezra, meanwhile, was on the actual ship, and he, you know, of course, we saw later he borrowed the stormtroopers suit, you know, to hide in disguise. And Thrawn is now making his way back. Um but before he goes, because, you know, as they try to like follow him, you know, they trying to follow his ship or whatever. um you know, Thrawn had to hit them up with a collect call, and was just like, yo, I just called to say I won, you know. And he also says like, yo, I know your master, you know, and because I know your master, I know you. Oh, and by the way, long live the Empire. Pew! Was out of there. Left her right there on the dial tone. Dude. See, that's old school. Some of y'all before cell phones, y'all know about the dial tone. But that's basically what happened. He left, he hung up on her. Dude. And she ain't know what to say. She ain't know what to do. It was over with. That was done. My man has won. Thrawn has escaped. He's accomplished his number one goal, which was to leave. And that's the bad guy won. The bad guy won. So now, you know, Ahsoka and Sabine, they come back, and they are, you know, while they're back, you also see the Morai owl. Ahsoka sees it anyway. Now, again, for those of you that have not watched Clone Wars, and you know, which you should have, the Morai owl is pretty much, I think, the embodiment of the daughter, let's just call it the light god, or the goddess that was embodying the light side of the Force. So this Morai owl is always a continuous symbol that maybe the daughter is maybe watching over Ahsoka, maybe however you want to interpret it, maybe the light side is always with Ahsoka. I think an interesting question, and you guys let me know what you think about this. An interesting question is, how the hell did that owl get there? Keep in mind, they hyperspaced across the whole galaxy in a whole different way. Okay. And the last time, if I'm not mistaken, the last time we saw this owl was in Mandalorian season 2, when, you know, the owl was watching over Ahsoka at that time. So the question is, how did the owl get from wherever they were before to here? Did the owl hitch a ride on the spaceship? Or, and here's my quick theory, I wonder if the owl might have got there through the world between worlds, because if you recall from the end of Rebels, the owl was also there as well, right? So maybe this world between worlds, listen, it got portals, it can take you wherever, whenever. So I'm just saying, I thought it was kind of interesting that this thing got there at that time, because I was like, how that get, what the hell? I had to do like what? But anyway, let's see. We got a couple comments here. Let's grab them. Let's see. Roger. Who knew dead stormtroopers don't care about their jobs? Clearly, all of them got to get fired. Every single one of them got. It's bad enough when y'all be shooting and you keep missing. But damn it, you couldn't even just. You had one job. Just shoot. Just fire. Who knows? Just fire. Oh, low key. Thank you so much, eBay. Them stormtroopers always have been dumb. Yes, and apparently the night troopers are even dumber. I was like, wait, she's right there. Kill her. Ooh, I would have fired out every single one of them. Every single one of them. Oh my gosh. Intellectual, what you got? He did that call to gloat that he won. It was funny, and we stand Thrawn for being the ultimate villain. Yes, that was exactly it. So many times we see villains bragging. We see villains bragging or talking, before they've actually won. Thrawn did it. Thrawn was like, my goal was to escape, and I did that. I just want to let you know. Bye. Done. Boop. Done. I loved it. I loved it. This is one of the reasons why I like Thrawn, because he's just that dude. He knows his place. He knows when he's winning. He knows when he's losing. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Anyway, this Morai thing, I do think is a big sign for more to come. So, and we'll kind of get more into that. But it is interesting that, of course, Ahsoka also notices the owl there. Let's see. Now we also go to Shin out of nowhere. Shin Hati just shows up. I guess she's gonna be the new leader of the Marauder people or something. I don't even know why they showed her. This has been one of my issues with the show. One other issue. What do y'all know about Shin? Why is she here? What is she doing? Where is she going? All we know is that she seeks power, and that's just stuff that Baylan said. Has she even said more than 10 words this whole series? I'm just saying, I'm not saying she need a whole series or a whole episode dedicated to herself, but I'm just what is her purpose? Why should I care about Shin at all? Yeah, is she going to the dark side? Is she what does she want? I don't know. And honestly, I don't care. And I think that's part of the issue. At least when you look at someone like Morgan Elsbeth, right? At least Morgan, we finally realized, just with one word, 2 words for Dathomir, we finally realized what her motivation was all this time. She didn't care nothing about the Empire. She cared about her people and her planet. That was her ultimate goal at the end of the day. I don't know a damn thing about Shin, and I don't care. And that, I think, is problematic once again. And then, of course, we go off to Baylan, again, popping up out of nowhere, who is looking at a mountain in the very, very far distance. And if you squint real hard, real hard, you can see that there's a bright light emitting from that mountain. And we know, and here's the thing. Well, no, I won't get to that yet. Now we do notice that he's standing on the hand of the father, one of the Mortis, one of the Mortis gods, and right next to him is a statue of the son, right? And you notice on the father's right hand side, your left, the daughter, the light side of the force, is not there, right? Now, here's where I'm a little, I guess, I'll probably theorize a little bit. And I think this theory is already out there. But what has been floating around, and for deep Star Wars fans, y'all can talk about this a little bit more. There is the theory out there that Abeloth could be coming back. Now, for those of you that don't know, and I'm just gonna give you a brief thing, nothing crazy. Because you had these Mortis gods, the father, the daughter, the son. Abeloth was like this other being who was kind of like those guys, but not really. Like, she wasn't immortal like the rest of them. But according to, and I think this is according to the legends or whatever. And again, if y'all know more about it, please go ahead, feel free to contribute in the comments. I'm just giving people a rough summary of it. But a lot of this stuff bases on their own little religious stories or whatever. But like, there were these two fountains, these two sources of water or whatever, and basically the son would drink from one water, and this water would, oh god, what was it the knowledge or something? It reminded me of like the Garden of Eden or whatever. You had the fruit of knowledge and then the fruit of good and evil. They basically had a parallel like that, where this water where the son would drink basically made you more on the dark side, and this water where the daughter would bathe made you more towards the light side. And Abeloth, she basically drank from both, and because she drank from both sources of water, that made her stupid powerful, like way more powerful. So now she's kind of considered as the mother, right? And because of this power that she had, it kind of sort of corrupted her, and it made her like way more evil and way more towards the dark side. But again, not dark like the sun, because the sun is the traditional dark side. She was a different kind of dark side. And I think, and I believe, this might be why this is what Baylan was talking about. How Baylan was like, nah, it's not the light or dark side. This is a different type of power. It's a more powerful type of thing. It's something more. And that's what Abeloth kind of was. She wasn't just dark. She wasn't just light. She had aspects of both, but it did lean her into a corrupted side. And if you go back, remember, what kind of lightsaber did Baylan have? An orange lightsaber, not completely red, but a little bit towards the middle, right? And I think that was a good representation of what she represents. So it could be now. Again, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was Jason Solo in the Legends or whatever. He was the one that like was drawn to Abeloth and like released her or whatever. Because she's right now, what the legends say is that she was imprisoned on this planet. So the Mortis gods, they trapped her into this prison on this planet. And as you notice, this planet is halfway dying. Nothing is there. It's not connected with the force or anything like that. So because of that, the Mortis gods, the father, daughter, and son, they imprisoned her there. But because they were immortal, they was like, it's all good, we ain't got nothing to worry about. However, because those Mortis gods are no longer around, it could be that now that they are dead or now that they're gone, maybe Abeloth's prison is now open. Maybe she's a little bit freer to like finally come around. So if this is true, if Abeloth, just think of this as the queen mother of all dark side things, she's the problem. Okay, like, forget the Emperor, forget Darth Vader. Abeloth will rain hell on everybody. She's not playing around. Okay. If she finds a way to get back to the main Star Wars universe, which by the way, the main Star Wars universe is more force rich, like it's more, the force sensitivity is a lot higher over there. If she goes to that universe, everybody's popped. The whole galaxy is done. Cook them up, serve them, deep fry them. It's over with. Y'all finna be crispy fried and finito. Just wow. Now, this could be setting something up for something great. we could be getting, because keep in mind, Dave Filoni is also building up to his movie, which is like a culmination of all the Mandalorian stuff and all the Ahsoka stuff. This could be that buildup where everybody and their mama got to come together to stop Abeloth, because she is no problem. Now, I believe in the comics or in the legends or whatever, Luke Skywalker had to like defeat her, but this could be a great setup to bring Luke back into action. And listen, if you have, I've been saying this for the longest, even though I be tired of these damn Skywalkers and I love to move on to somewhere else, I'm gonna be here if you give me a young Luke. If you give me young Luke Skywalker in a movie on the big screen, let's cut the check, because that's gonna be $2 billion easy money. You mean to tell me we could potentially have a villain that's bigger and badder than any Emperor, any Darth Vader that we've ever seen on Star Wars, and you can have an ensemble with Luke, Ahsoka, Ezra, Mando, Sabine, now all souped up with the Force. Who else we missing? Bo-Katan, Boba Fett. Like, you bringing the whole gang together? Like, yo, we gang in the Force like this? Oh, that's a movie. That's a movie. Okay, I want to see that. I want to see. Oh, who said that? Who said this? Come on through. Come on through. Bring Mace Windu back to. I would lose my mind if Sam Jackson was back in that mix too. What? Woo! Oh my God! How did I forget the actual Grogu too? Grogu out there too? Yo, Star Wars gonna make all the monies if that's what we leading up to. All the monies. Okay. So anyway, it is entirely possible that Baylan could be the one that's going to unleash her. If that's the case, yes, Abeloth is. She's damn near a goddess. Yes, she's not to be trifled with. Okay, she is a problem. She's a problem for sure. Let's see. Hold on. We got Bender. What you got? Thank you so much. So Ezra put on the suit of a 10-year-old, 10 years dead night trooper. That stank smell. And he wore the helmet all the way home. Yes. You do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. And it's not the last time, it's not the first time he's done that. He's put on the suit before, But I do like where this potentially is going with Baylan. At the very least. And yes, we might as well go ahead and address the obvious too. Rest in peace to Ray Stevenson. My goodness, the dude did a fantastic job with this, but clearly they left this story untold. And y'all already know where I stand on this. The best way to honor someone's work is to continue it. Recast Baylan. No, you don't have to kill him off screen. No, you don't need to elevate Shin Hati to make her take over his role and blah, 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 nonsense like that. Recast the role. Honor this man, what he set up, and let's finish out Baylan's story. I've already told you on, if you follow me on the socials, I said Liev Schreiber, aka dude that played Sabretooth in the X-Men. He'd be a great stand-in. I think he'd be fantastic. But either way, recast Baylan, let this keep going, finish this guy's story, finish the character story, and honor what Ray Stevenson started, because this man did a fantastic job. Like, I still don't know what the hell he wants. Now, again, maybe he's looking for Abeloth. Maybe that's the power. That's just a theory. We'll have to wait and see. But recast this man, please. Now we also see Thrawn pulling up, and he's pulling up here on Dathomir. So now this seems apparent to what Thrawn has made a deal with the Night Sisters, which was to bring them back to their home planet. But this is something, and I don't know if we talked about this or maybe we glossed over it, but look at all these things. I'm really starting to think that these are caskets. At first I thought they were just random supplies, but I think that these are actually bodies of maybe fallen Dathomirians or something. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's correct me if I'm wrong, the planet that they're on right now, I believe Morgan had said, "Oh, my people used to be here." Like my people, the Knights is like my people came here first. So I'm wondering, could these be the bodies of the people, the I don't know, the ancestors of the Night Sisters? And if that's the case, if you bring them to Dathomir, and we already know the Night Sisters have the power to resurrect people, could this be the rebirth of the Night Sisters as a planet, like the Dathomirians? Like again, that's Asajj Ventress, that's Darth Maul. All those folks could be coming back. Maybe if that's what this is, I don't know, but I think that would be kind of interesting if they do that. Now, y'all let me know what you think too. Now we see Ezra coming back. Of course, he's wearing the stinky armor. I don't know how he made it and how he kept that helmet on, but whatever. And he's back reuniting with Hera after all this time. And my only thing here, come on now. I understand you're a little surprised. I understand that it's been a minute. You're not gonna hug? Y'all not gonna have no emotional embrace? Y'all had a whole fight in Rebels for years. Y'all fought together for years. Y'all haven't seen each other for a decade. And y'all just gonna have a staring contest? That's it? Y'all just gonna look at each other. That's it. I'm just saying, once it was established that was Ezra, wouldn't there be a hug in there? A little embrace, something? Y'all, nothing? All right, whatever. Anyway, Ahsoka is out here looking off into the sky. Sabine does mention how Thrawn got away. But Ahsoka reminds her that, like, yo, Ezra got back home. She also says that Ezra is where he needs to be, and so are they. And it's time to move on. And I do think, especially if this Abeloth theory, pans out, I think there's some truth to that, because if Abeloth really is there, right? And if Baylan is going to unleash this crazy new threat into the galaxy or whatever, you do need somebody there to kind of like encounter it, maybe. So my guess is that Baylan does whatever he does and unleashes this evil power. Ahsoka and Sabine are there. They maybe encounter and they're like, yikes. She's a problem. Oh crap, she done went to the Star Wars universe. We got to go warn everybody else. I think that's how it's going to go. And then, like I said, all hell's gonna break loose with that. But we also see Sabine, said that she felt something, out there, and she said, it's just shadows in the starlight. And of course, that wasn't just no, shadow or whatever in starlight. You know what it was. It was Anakin's peeping Tom Force Ghost watching over them. And I'm a little mad my man couldn't say hello. You couldn't say what's up. You couldn't drop by and say nothing at all. But I will say it was very nice to see that he is still present and he could possibly reveal himself in the future for more movies and TV shows as we go, into this next chapter of the Ahsoka verse and all of that. But that was it for the episode. Let's see. We got comment here. Roger, what you got? Ezra said that Thrawn awoken the Night Sisters. Maybe the caskets have more sleeping sisters. I think you're absolutely right. I didn't know that they were awoken. I missed that, but thank you for that catch. But yeah, maybe I think that those are just caskets. I think that they are caskets. I don't know if they're fallen Night Sisters. I don't know if it's like ancient people or something. I don't know. But one way or another, this clearly, I think, had to be an even exchange. Like Thrawn was like, yo, I'ma help y'all revive y'all planet as long as y'all help the Empire. And that's why they had that equal exchange, I think. But maybe that's the case. We'll have to wait and see. Oh man, hold on one second. I gotta give some love real quick to none other than Low Key. Ma'am, thank you so much for the $15 cash app. Says thanks for the live recap. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate you. Roger, thank you as well for the comment. I appreciate that as well. All right, guys. So now here's the point where I need to know, what is your rating for this episode 8 of Ahsoka? while you guys go ahead and talk about the rating, I will give you my thoughts and my rating on just this episode. So I do think overall this stuck the landing. I'm not mad at this episode for being one of those unfulfilling, you know, bad finales. I thought it was a good finale. I already expressed to you guys my biggest issues, which were I thought that the forced stuff with Sabine was forced, pun intended, and it was just rushed. I did have a slight issue with the fact that some of the characters just felt underdeveloped, like Shin, or Baylan. I felt like they spent more time doing setup for obviously the next season, which, by the way, in case you didn't know, season 2 of Ahsoka has already been greenlit and it is in development. So they did give the green light for season 2 of Ahsoka. But I don't like that, right? I don't like where you leave us on a cliffhanger and it's only set up, but it doesn't have like any other resolution. Like you should still be resolving things. Like we should still, in my opinion, know what certain character motivations are. And I do think that the pacing of the development of some characters like Shin, Sabine were not handled very well. Outside of that, loved the fight scenes. I loved the action. The lightsaber scenes I thought were great. The fight scenes were handled very, very well. And definitely loved Thrawn. Thrawn, my man said he was gonna leave. My man left, and that was it. So I'm with that. I probably would have given this an 8 out of 10, but because of some of the writing and stuff, I'm going to be a little bit more critical and I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Again, not terrible. I liked it. I think it gave us a lot of good stuff. But I just, for a finale, I put a little bit more expectation on it. I need y'all to I need y'all to get that writing together. Like this is your big hurrah. I shouldn't be having issues with your big hurrah. So I'm gonna be probably a little more critical than y'all. I haven't seen what y'all said yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7.5. But let's see where y'all at. Let's see. Maybe y'all different. Maybe y'all feel more. I don't know. Let's see. We got a 9. Okay, 7. All right. 8. All right. 10 out of 10. 8.5. 9. 7.5. 9. 7. 8. 6. 8, 7, 9, 9, 9, 6.5, 6, 8, 9.5, 9, 8.5, 8.5, 9, 8.5, 7, 8.5, 6, 10. Okay, so it seems like hold on, we got 9.9. So it seems like we're pretty mixed, right? So like, I think this is the most mixed we've been, right? Like, some people are like, yo, this was fantastic. Some people like, and I'm like kind of like right there in the middle. So overall, I think that this was a passable to good episode. I think based off of just doing some of that quick math anyway. Didier, what you got? Thank you so much, brother. Does Thrawn know that the Empire killed the Night Sisters? This might not be the deal he wants to make. I don't know if he knows that. I would have to go check with my other Star Wars nerd friends and fact check that. But I would say this, even if he did know that, my guess would be that he would be like, look, this is a new deal. New empire, new deal. So I'm assuming that's probably where he came at them with it, if he knew that the empire did that. But yeah, I'm assuming he'd be like, yo, that was in the past. I got you a new deal. We're gonna run things differently. New management, so I'm assuming that's what he would say to him. But all right, so we got our rating for episode 8. Now I need y'all rating for the whole season. Tell me now, episode from 0 to 10, how are you rating the whole series of Ahsoka season 1? All right. I will say, for myself, love the action. Action was fantastic. Overall, There was that one episode that was straight filler. I'm not gonna forget about that. Y'all literally took, what was it, episode 3 or something? Y'all took a whole episode, didn't tell us nothing meaningful. You just literally gave us a Star Wars chase in space, and that was nothing. You can't be wasting our time like that. That's not okay. Ahsoka as a character, wonderful character development. We had an Ahsoka that had an issue. Our protagonist had an issue, internal gripe, and over time she overcame it and became better. Great, love to see it. We got a villain that actually won. I'm cool with that because now that causes an even bigger problem for not just our hero, but for the whole universe. Love it. I took some points off because of some of the writing was a little rushed in certain areas. So that's not okay. But at the end of the day, I do believe that, but I will give points. So even though some stuff was rushed, I'm gonna give more points to the fact that they pushed more Star Wars stuff our way. And I'm talking about with like the gods, with the world between worlds. These are things that Andor is not going to give you. These are things that, in my opinion, are the fascinating things that make Star Wars Star Wars. Star Wars was literally built to be more of a fantasy for people. It was a space fantasy. So, yes, I know people and I like Rogue One, by the way. I know we like the politics and all that stuff. And I'm not going to say Andor is bad because I still ain't watched it. I still ain't finished it. So I'm not going to say it's bad. All I'm saying is this is the type of stuff that Star Wars created. It's the stuff that it's the expectation that Star Wars has always promised and delivered on. And this show took it to another level. And I totally appreciate it for that. So for me, again, I'm not going to trash Andor because I don't know what happened. I'm just saying what attracts me is you got the lightsabers, you got Rosario Dawson, you got Ahsoka, you got the Force, you got all the things that make Star Wars Star Wars. So Ahsoka as a show, in my opinion, is fantastic for what it is. Yes, it has some flaws. It's not perfect, but damn it, it's better than Boba Fett. I know that much. Okay, it's definitely better than Boba Fett. So I will say, as a whole, I'm gonna give Ahsoka the whole series for season 1. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. Again, it delivered what I wanted. It delivered what I expect from Star Wars. As someone who's watched and invested the time to watch Clone Wars and Rebels, this continued the story. It progressed the characters, sometimes to a fault, but more often than not, better. It did what it needed to do. It understood the assignment. So this actually has me looking forward to more Star Wars. What more can you ask for? That's it. So for me, I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10. Really, really enjoyed this. Now I'll give y'all something else. Someone else asked, is this the best live action Star Wars series? Now, again, I'm not going to include Andor because I haven't seen it. Once I see it, I'll let y'all know where my rankings are at. But I don't think that this is the best for me. I still have Mandalorian season 1 and season 2 as my top 2. I think season 2 was better. So I'm going to put season 2 first, season 1 of Mandalorian, and then I'm going to put Ahsoka right there as my personal favorite live action. Season 3, now season 3 of Mandalorian, it was still better than Boba Fett. A lot of things are better than Boba Fett. Damn it, Boba Fett. Why did you have to go get Boba Fetted in your own damn show? Anyway, so that's the way I got it ranked. I got Mando season 2, Mando season 1, Ahsoka, Mandalorian season 3, somewhere in the middle. Boba Fett's at the bottom, but that's the way I got it ranked for live action right now. But anyway, y'all let me know maybe if you got some different rankings. Oh, damn, I forgot about Obi-Wan. Thank you for that. I put Obi-Wan. Is it better than season 3 of Mando? I'm gonna say it inches by. I didn't really care for Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was cool, but like, damn it, it just had too many slow points. But that fight though, that big fight at the end, yikes, yo. I don't know. Bad memory, but I'm gonna say Obi was probably better than season 3 of Mandalorian. I'll go with that. Whatever. I'll change that later. I don't care. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought, where y'all rankings are for everything. Please let me know in the comments down below. Speaking of comments, I got a couple more here. Let's see. Omar, what you got? Let's see. The rebel character's reaction to Ezra was wooden. Yeah. That to me, like Chopper gave a more emotional. How the android gonna have a better emotional reaction than the rest of y'all? Chopper style, Chopper. Come on now. Nobody else wanted to give this man a hug. Y'all ain't seen him in years. Now, to be fair, it could be the case that the suit just stank. Maybe that's it. Maybe they was like, oh my God, Ezra. Oh, Ezra. Hey, Ezra, how you? No, stand over there, Ezra. Nope. May the force be with you and stay with you. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. We'll see. Rims coming through. Thank you so much, fam. My mom heard your voice and was like, I haven't heard that voice in a minute. She said, send email and Cherie our love from her and my dad. Oh my gosh, thank you. Send a shout out to Mama Rims and Daddy Rims. Once again, we are praying for Daddy Rims and keeping them in our thoughts and all that, and sending all the positive energy his way. But yes, please tell Mama Rims that we receive that with love and we put it right back out there. Really appreciate that for sure. Thank you so much. But guys, that's it with Ahsoka. I have to say once again, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here with me, to break this down, to talk about the episode, to react to it and all of that. Y'all are crazy. May the soap be with you. May the shower be with you. I love it. But y'all, the next thing we got up is Loki. Now, Loki's coming out every Friday at 9 Eastern, I want to say. Now, of course, I got my live on Fridays, so I don't know what we're gonna do with that. I'm gonna do my best not to run into the Loki episodes. That's gonna be awkward. So right now I'm going to try my best. Either I'm going to give y'all a pre-recorded Loki video, discussing the episode or whatever, or I will try to schedule a Saturday, maybe early afternoon live reaction where we could just talk about the latest episode of Loki. I'll just work with me again. Follow, make sure you're following so you know what to expect and all that. Of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Is Loki out now? Oh, snap, it's on now. Damn, I thought it was tomorrow. Damn. Okay, my bad. Loki's out now. Hey, go watch Loki. Go watch Loki. Hurry up. Go watch Loki. Definitely a interesting episode. So I guess I need to figure out if I'm going live tomorrow, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll add it to the live at the end. I don't know. But anyway, can we do Thursday nights? There's so much. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. Tune in tomorrow, Friday. We got our live chat. We'll be talking about stuff. And yeah, you know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Don't be stinky like Ezra. Once again, thank you for your time. I always appreciate it. Now I got to go see my Bears. Hopefully they're not losing and actually catch a W. But all right, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.